Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Bakuman, a Japanese drama comedy hybrid from 2015. Now in this film, an amateur artist teams up with an amateur scriptwriter, both of which are still in high school, to create manga and break into the business at Weekly Shonen Jump. But the demands and stress of the industry may derail their plans. So the stress of working in this particular industry is a major theme here. In fact, I think it's the major theme, and it's communicated in multiple ways. So first, there's the competitive aspect. So our protagonists are very quickly roped into the cutthroat nature of business and almost immediately create rivalries with other manga artists. So success at this particular company is dependent on sales of the manga that you're drawing, which makes sense. So every week, like a top 10 list is posted in the office, which gives everyone a gauge as to how well their manga is doing. And that creates rivalry, naturally, because you need to perform better than the other manga artists to stay on the list. Now, second, there's the survival aspect. So if your manga does not sell well, it is discontinued, and you will have to go back to the drawing board to produce something else. So you're not a permanent employee of this company, and if your manga fails, you may never get another chance to publish your works ever again. It all depends on whether or not they like your stuff. And you might draw 50 manga, and maybe they only like one of them. So there's a lot of pressure there if you want to try to make a living off of this. It would seem to me that this film portrays the job security of this profession as being not so good at all, because you're constantly fighting to keep your job. Now, third, the weekly deadlines result in very long working hours. It seemed like these guys were working about 80 or more hours per week. Probably more, because at times it looked like they had difficulty actually finding enough time to sleep, which is insane. I actually worked at a Big Four accounting firm for 5 years, so I know what long working hours are like, but even I was horrified at what our protagonists were going through in this movie. It almost makes the profession of manga drawing seem undesirable, and I like that. You know what I mean? It's not a film that glorifies the industry. That makes it kind of interesting. It shows kind of the downside of being into this manga drawing industry. So Bakuman has a fantastic cast of young acting talent. You start with Takeru Satoh, who recently starred in the awesome Rurouni Kenshin trilogy. We have Ryunosuke Kamiki, who starred in Poisonberry in My Brain, The Kirishima Thing, and has appeared as a villain in films like As the Gods Will and the second and third Rurouni Kenshin films. He's like the small guy. Then you have Shota Sometani, who has been in, he's been everywhere recently. He was in the Parasite movies, Tokyo Tribe, Woodjob, As the Gods Will, etc. And then finally we have Takayuki Yamada, who had a lead role in the Crow's Zero movies and has appeared in Lesson of the Evil, 13 Assassins, and many other films. So you have a solid core of young acting talent that helps to establish a foundation for Bakuman to build on. Now, another big positive is the rhythm and pacing of this film, and it's really well paced. It just keeps the viewer glued to their screens throughout the entire runtime. This is a drama, comedy, but it moves pretty fast. The story plays out very naturalistically, though. Even the romantic subplot, which can usually be an Achilles heel to a lot of films, is very nicely portrayed in this, and I really like how it concluded. Really, really nice writing on that one. Now, there's a nice dramatic impact to everything that occurs, and the protagonists have very likable personas. There are also some very funny scenes along the way, which I won't spoil, and that always helps to humanize the characters and make them even more relatable to the viewer. Now, stylistically, there are a few creative sequences here that use manga drawing special effects, if that makes sense, that are blended in with the live action shots, and it works really well, especially given the themes of the film. It's something a bit different, and I liked it. One final surprise, for me at least, was the scoring and the soundtrack, which are really good, and were apparently performed by a Japanese band by the name of Sakan Action. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I haven't heard of them really before, and I did a little research, but it's kind of hard to find them, find some history or info on them. But I'm going to keep looking. They impressed me with the score and soundtrack in this film. May have to check out more of their stuff. Now, I definitely recommend Bakuman, and I can't really think of any big flaws to complain about. This is just a really solid movie, and it's a recent one, so if you want to keep up with some of the newer Japanese films, I say this one is a good one to check out. It's available on Region 2 DVD with English subtitles on various websites like Yes Asia. Hopefully they come out with a Region 1 release. It's still fairly recent release in its home country, so hopefully we'll get it in the US. But if not, I say pick up the Region 2 release with English subtitles if you have VLC player on your computer or you have an all-region DVD player. So check that one out, and as always, we'll see you next time.